bound in the state system. ATN's appetite for in-depth, unbiased and factual reportage is a driving principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. The highlights. In Rivers State, NAFDAC shuts down substandard bakeries. In Enugu State, traditional ruler elect hails passage of electricity bill. In Lagos State, House of Representatives resolves to investigate death of Navy hospital personnel. President Tinubu returns to Nigeria. In customs, NCS announces 90-day window for regularizing import duties of vehicles. We take a short break, and when we return, we go straight to the details. Stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sport.
Overriding is
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business.
Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control has shut down 3 substandard bakeries on the Sachet Water Factory in Port Harcourt. In a statement issued on Tuesday by the South-South Zonal Public Relations Officer Cyril Monye, the bakeries were operating in makeshift structures made of wood and producing in unhygienic conditions. The facilities located in Wumopali and Umboba, both in Obiakwa local government areas of the state, were neither registered nor compliant with safety regulations, according to the statement by NAFDAC. Emmanuel Onogo, the NAFDAC coordinator for Rivers State, who coordinated the operation, said they successfully carried out the operation following a tip-off from concerned citizens and extensive investigations by the agency's enforcement units. The regulatory agency also shut down a Sachet Water Factory along the Umboba-Choba Road, Obiakwa local government area for not conforming to standard best practices. Political analyst says it is constitutional for the State House of Assembly to override the governor on obvious issues of urgent attention that is in the interest of the state. Speaking on our...
Send a bill to the governor for assent, even at the National Assembly. And the governor, within the stipulated period of time, the governor refused to assent it. And like my brother and my friend has said, that the bill on its own is not bad. Then if the bill is not bad, why will the governor refuse to assent it? You understand? And if the bill is not bad, and the governor refused to assent it, there is constitutional provision at a stipulated period of time that the legislative arms can override the governor, or even the president, as the case may be. So they are...
Explaining further, Lekonojo urged the incumbent governor of Rivers State to abstain from political rifts that will negatively affect the interest of Rivers people.
The fight in between them, the unnecessary fight between them is what is causing this. And Rivers people do not know that a lot of things are missing. When the bill that support, if the bill we are talking about, if they pass it to law, is it for some people? Is it for Kano people? Is it for Lagos people? It's for people of River State, including me.
Three staff members of Okomu Oil Palm Company PLC were killed by gunmen on Monday while working on their plantation in Benin, Edo State. The public relations officer of the company, Fidelis Olise, who confirmed this to correspondents on Tuesday, said the killing was done by unknown persons. He stated the company enjoyed a cordial relationship with the host communities in this area, noting he could not say whether the members of the communities were involved in the attack. He said the incident had been reported to the police and an investigation was already going on. He said, "I can confirm to you that 3 of our staff members were killed by gunmen on Monday while they were working on our plantation. We enjoy cordial relationship with the communities around us, the police, and we hope justice will be done," he added. The State Commissioner of Police, Funsho Adegboye, said more men had been deployed by the state command to the area to forestall a repeat of the attack, noting that it was shocking that the gunmen could carry out such an attack. He said the attack was from neighboring communities, in the neighborhoods around, and went on to arrest the culprits and bring them to book. He also said that the police were working with the management of Okumu Oil to perfect ways of making the environment safer for its staff at all times. The CP said preliminary findings show that the gunmen came from the creek in a neighboring state, which I would not like to mention. The attack is shocking, he said. However, more men have been deployed to the area to forestall a repeat, while the police, in conjunction with Okumu Oil, are working to ensure that the culprits are arrested. We will not allow such an occurrence to happen in the state again. We are geared towards bringing disruptive innovations to the state. House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the death of a personnel of the Nigerian Navy Reference Hospital Ojo in Lagos, Richard Onumegbu, after alleged brutal torture by officials of the Nigerian Navy. This was sequel to the adoption of a motion of urgent public involvement. The motion, Onwusibe said, the fateful night of March 26, he was subjected to brutal torture for a horrifying duration of 5 hours from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. by 5 naval officers reportedly summoned. Security and current one shows the inappropriate attitude by Navy personnel. He called for a deeper investigation by the House itself and to look at all resolutions on insecurity matters and ensure their due enforcement in order to bring relief to the affected communities in Nigeria. On his part, Honorable Ahmed Jahar called for international help from advanced nations if necessary to combat the insecurity situation once and for all, saying the use of competent international mercenaries should be considered. The Federal High Court in Lagos on Tuesday fixed June 26, 2024 for the arraignment of a Lagos monarch. More than discuss the charge. I'll bring them to court on the next adjourned date. Prosecution counsel Elliot Ejie, who announced his appearance for the complainant, the Inspector General of Police, did not oppose the adjournment request of the defense counsel. Consequently, Justice Aluko adjourned the matter to June 26 for the arraignment of all the defendants. The police in the charge alleged that the defendants had between 2014 and 2022 conspired amongst themselves and fraudulently obtained the said sum. The police said they also had a Finder and 1 Toyota Camry car, properties of one Joseph Fagbamila Olaniyi Owoyomi and the Amicable Friends estate under the pretense of allocating 15 acres and 4 plots of Odoyi's family land situated at Agboyi 1, Lagos State to them. Before the Rande is located at Olakunle Ojo Street, very close to Awotula Close. Awotula Close is like a connecting point for all the waters from Kola, Moshalasi, and Abukon areas, leading the entire area to be submerged by flooding during downpours, our correspondent learned on Tuesday. The residents besieged the state government to intervene immediately on the bridge, saying it was difficult for them to leave their homes whenever it rained. Also, because the bridge was the only means for locals to access the expressway, a resident and business owner in the neighborhood who goes by the name Adeola bemoaned the fact that after the bridge collapsed, people could no longer access other towns to meet their needs. Presently, he said, there is no alternative. People are just finding their ways to navigate through the damaged bridge. Some people will even have to take a longer route to connect to the major highways. This is the only accessible road to many communities within the area. The bridge is very important, Adiola said. This is beyond what the communities can do. There is nothing that we can do that will withstand the test of time. If the flood would damage a whole bridge, how much more makeshift? The only thing we need now is the government's intervention. Boyeyega Akosile, the chief press secretary to the state governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, told our correspondent that of the visit was to strengthen the tie between her agency and the commission. She said, awareness creation is one of the mandates of the National Orientation Agency. As part of the orientation for the citizens, we urge the government to reintroduce Boy Scout, Boys Brigade and others in all primary and secondary schools. In his remarks, Chairman Osiek Hashim Abioye appreciated the National Orientation Agency team for the visit and also congratulated the new director on her new roles, while urging the agency to continue to be an agent of positive change via promotion of national value and campaign against social vices among youth at the grassroots level. Abioye used the period to showcase the achievements recorded by the commission within a few months of its inauguration. He assured the NOA management team of a close relationship with the commission. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has revealed that the first flyover in Ile-Ife would be completed within 12 months. Governor Adeleke made this revelation on Tuesday as he performed the official flag-off of the flyover construction at Lagere Junction, Ile-Ife. During the event attended by the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Niton Ogunwusi, Adeleke said the project will be executed at a cost of 14.9 billion naira. He said, our good people of Ile-Ife and Osun as a whole, we are here for two-in-one event. We are flagging off the flyover bridge at Lagere Junction, as well as the commencement of 55 kilometers of roads across the 30 local governments and the area office. After compliance with the due process and procurement laws, the flyover bridge is awarded to Messrs. Samia Nigeria Limited at a total project cost of 14,938,771,000. The completion period is 12 months, he said. Additionally, I flag off the construction of local government roads totaling 55.86 kilometers at the cost of 30,677,814,099. This is also to have a completion period of 12 months, he added. Adeleke also disclosed that rehabilitation work has commenced on 55.86 kilometers of local government roads across Ife land and the cost of 30.6 billion naira. He enumerated various road rehabilitation projects that his administration had completed in the 4 local government areas in Ife land and assured that no efforts would be spared to improve the state of infrastructural amenities in recognition of the special status of Ile-Ife as the cradle of the Yoruba race. He urged the contractors handling the projects and residents of the hills communities to partner closely for the successful execution of the initiatives. Remarking, Oba Ogunwusi commended Adeleke for his attempt to upgrade infrastructural amenities in the town. The Ife monarch urged him to also consider the rehabilitation of other roads that were in bad conditions across the Ife metropolis. He said, when the governor proposed the project, I was very happy. Ile-Ife is the origin. Despite the governor is from Ede, he remembered his ancestral home. I want to plead with the governor to remember Mayfair Road. I want to plead with the governor not to deceive us with a flag off, but please help us to complete this project. Don't just come here promoted by the council would bring shipping and port services closer to the importers and exporters at the hinterland, decongest the seaports, create job opportunities, improve and accrue huge revenue to the government. Recall that in February 2023, the federal government under Muhammadu Buhari declared Funtua IDP as a port of origin and destination, which will pave the way for importers and exporters to consign their cargo from Funtua to any part of the world. Meanwhile, this is the third in the series by the federal government to open inland dry ports in the country. The very first was the inauguration of the Kaduna Inland Dry Port in 2018 and Dala Inland Dry Port in 2023, respectively. The federal government has commenced an assessment tour of the 8 local government areas in Sokoto East Senatorial Zone that have been without electricity for about a decade, with a view to restoring power supply to them. The federal government delegation led by the Director of Distribution Federal Ministry of Power, Mustafa Baba Umara, on Sunday said the assessment team would carefully study the nature of the problems causing the blackout in the affected communities and report to the federal government for necessary action. The federal government is committed towards ensuring that all Nigerians enjoy electricity supply irrespective of where they live, he said. Speaking on assessment exercise, Sokoto Commissioner for Energy Sanusi Danfulani said the idea was to get a first-hand information on the nature and gravity of the problem leading to the total blackout in the 8 local government areas of the state. According to him, the plan is to restore electricity supply to the affected communities. Is also part of the efforts by the governor to boost economic activities, especially among the rural dwellers. Electricity supply is the bedrock of development of every society, without which the society may not have a viable economy, Dan Fulani noted further. He said our governor has been worried over the total blackout in the eastern zone of the state, especially being the area in the food basket of the state. That was why he mandated my ministry to write to the federal government seeking for its intervention in the restoration of electricity supply to these 8 local government areas of the state. He added, the commissioner, who added that the work will go up between 4 billion naira and 5 billion, thus appealed for support from the benefiting communities to ensure its success. According to Dan Fulani, the state government would soon introduce motorized boreholes to be given to the rural communities with a view to enhancing agricultural activities and boost efficiency in the state. He said, we are trying to use the energy sector to reduce poverty and create opportunities among our people, Dan Fulani added. The 8 local government areas to be reconnected to the national grid include Isa, Sabon Birni, Goroyo, Wono, Raba, Gada, Ilela, Guadabawa. The commissioner stressed further these local government areas have been without electricity for close to a decade. But with the current effort being put in place by the state and federal government, the story will soon be a thing of the past, he said. An assistant superintendent of police has been shot and killed by a vigilante group in Taraba State. Reports gathered that the police officer whose force number was identified as APNO191462 was killed in an ambush in Sandede village of Gasso, local government council of the state. In a statement made available to journalists on Wednesday morning in Jalingo by the police commissioner David Iloyanomo, he said the ambush was led by the leader of the vigilant group, whom he identified as Ali Deso. According to him, on 4th of May 2024, a team of Special Strike Force operatives attached to Government House, Taraba State, led by SP Jamu Emmanuel, while on route of his bar Commission law, the bill which was presented by submitted the bill to the House Standing Committee on Justice and Religious Affairs for further legislative action. Meanwhile, in a related news, a group of others injured. An eyewitness, Mama Billy Kisu, said unnumbered terrorists invaded a market on motorcycles with sophisticated weapons and started to shoot indiscriminately. Mama Billy Kisu, who said that she always goes to community markets in Zamfara State to sell bread, cold mineral and sachet water, lamented that she lost everything. I was selling when I heard the sound of gunshots. People were running helter-skelter. I abandoned my goods for the safety of my life, she added. According to her, the bandits overpowered a few police operatives in Mada district of Gusau and had free time to operate. Recall that the state government had, during former Governor Bello Mohammed Matawale's administration, banned Wanke and other markets due to rampant banditry activities in the markets. All efforts to contact the State Police Command spokesman, ASB Yazid Abubakar, proved unsuccessful as of the time of this report. Bandits in the early hours of Tuesday in the same vein abducted the bank manager of Taj Bank, Zamfara State Branch, Mansour Kaura. A resident of the area, Musa Ibrahim, said Kaura was kidnapped when the bandits invaded his residence at Rijiya Kabas area in Gusau, Zamfara State capital, whisked him to an unknown destination. According to him, the bandits, who carried sophisticated weapons, began to shoot sporadically in all directions, and then whisked him away. Ibrahim said the manager, when being driven away, was shouting for help, but nobody could not be reached for comment at the time of this report. The FCT Police Command, however, promised to investigate the abduction of 13 people in the Pico area as residents panicked over the attack. Meanwhile, correspondents gathered that the operation by the bandits lasted over agency security. A source within and watches on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic Network 1, X, Atlantic TV-NEC, watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Moving on now, parents of late 4-year-old pupil stormed school in protest. Schools at Cadastral Zone B11 Kawa Street District in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Miguel Ovoke, are calling on the FCT Educational Authority to shut down the school following the result of autopsy, alleging that their child died of electrocution and not choking as reported. Correspondents gathered that the parents, in company of some angry youths, stormed the school premises to protest against the death of the boy, since the autopsy had revealed that the boy died from electrocution and not choked to death while eating, as alleged by the school authorities. According to the information, some joined security personnel in an attempt to prevent the protesters from causing damage and taking laws into their hands, and the school premises started shooting into the air. One of the protesters, who preferred anonymity, said the police were among the security personnel using tear gas to disperse angry parents and other protesters. She alleged that the security personnel also threatened to shoot the protesters if they refused to leave the school premises. You're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be right back after the short break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable you are a human.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. This is Government and Public Service Reports, just in case you're just joining on Atlantic Television Network. To the rest of our stories, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Abuja after spending 2 weeks abroad. Tinubu arrived at his official residence at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, in the early hours of Wednesday, reports confirmed. And in a tweet on Tuesday evening, his special advisor on information and strategy revealed President Bola Tinubu returns to Nigeria tomorrow from Europe. President Bola Tinubu, along with his aides, will return to Nigeria tomorrow from Europe. 2 weeks ago, on April 23, 2024, the president departed Abuja for the Netherlands for a 3-day official visit, honoring an invitation from the Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte. 28 to 29, he joined over 1,000 leaders from business, government, and academia for more than 90 countries to review actions taken since the inaugural Growth Summit held in Geneva, Switzerland in 2023. It was his second visit to the Gulf estate in 5 months, by the way. His return on Wednesday concludes his 20th foreign trip since assuming office last May, logging 96 days abroad. To customs, NCS announces 90-day window for regularizing import duties of vehicles. The Nigeria NCS, under the directive of the Minister of Finance and coordinating Minister of the Economy and valuation method, with import duty and a 25% penalty, shall be paid in tandem with the import guidelines, procedures and documentation requirements for used vehicles under the Destination Inspection Scheme in Nigeria 2013 and the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023, our exercise. It reflects our unwavering commitment to facilitating compliance. We encourage our stakeholders to capitalize on this opportunity